There it is in the lead. Now that is the de Havilland Dragonfly, the DH90. And behind the de Havilland Dragon, there's the Dragonfly being flown today by Dan Griffiths, very famous test pilot, Air Force pilot, who in fact only recently has just recovered from an unfortunate accident when he had an engine failure in a Spitfire, which shook him up a bit. But in this game it's never say never, and he's back in the saddle there, fully 100%. Two de Havilland Gypsy Major 2 inverted inline piston engines, 142 horsepower each in the Dragonfly. Hey, there's no competition here for Ryanair. Why not? Both Boeing 737 instructors and examiners. The solo aircraft is out there, don't worry about that. So there is Iola, the DH-84 Dragon. Following the success of the Foxmoth, first flown in 1932. So this is really around 1932, something like that, the first Dragon Moth. Carries 6 passengers with 45 pounds. I consider it really the start of the very first of the airliners. De Havilland, of course, a very famous name, and Geoffrey de Havilland himself was. Examples still flying of a bygone era, and that's why I call it living history. And it is fascinating to see these aircraft still airborne, and I'm a great believer that anything can be done to keep these aircraft flying. That's a great thing, because an aircraft sitting in a museum with its metal heart quiet is a sad thing. Aircraft were designed to fly. So that's Iola breaking off, the DH-84 Dragon, and the 2 Chipmunks heading out. If you look up a little bit higher, ladies and gentlemen, you will see that single Chipmunk, which is being flown by the Sun. There it is, Echo India, Alpha Bravo India, the Iola DH-84 Dragon, representing Aer Lingus, and of course the Irish Historic Flight, which is setting up an operation, an educational flying, maintenance and restoration operation at Baldonnel Casement Aircraft in Dublin.
Oh, no, I'm not talking to you. Talking to that one.
Thanks, the big wave. Thank you very much to Iola, ladies and gentlemen, marvellous. As I say, they really can see you down here, and on those flypaths, that's Captain John O'Toole from Aer Lingus. Thanks, John. And the 2 upper... Very gentle flowing aerobatics, a tandem 2-seat single engine primary trainer used by the Royal Canadian Air Force and the RAF and in University Air Squadrons, of course. Designed to succeed the de Havilland Tiger Moth biplane trainer, widely used during the Second World War. All metal, low wing, tandem, as I say, 2-place, single engine with a conventional tail wheel landing gear, fabric covered control surfaces. So it's a slightly odd, it's an odd form of construction. It's not all metal, but it's largely metal, but elements of it are using older technology. He's been flying his little heart out, simple stuff, but there you are. It's lovely, it's sedate. It's the de Havilland Chipmunk. Thank you very much, Alan. The other 2 now are up there somewhere. If you look just above the low-level one, the 2 running in together as a pair, a synchro pair. Again, if you're wanting to do a lot of sporting manoeuvres low down, one of the safest ways of doing it is in a line astern formation, because you're not having to cope with being on the outside of a parabola, for example, or on the inside of a turn, which can mean that you're having to work a lot harder to keep in balance. And And there's a little brake pulling left and right. Dynamic and gentle. Classic aileron rolls, or victory rolls as they used to be called.
What?
So if you ran the line of trainers, both from the Air Force point of view directly and the University Air Squadrons, of course, you had the Tiger Moth, which moved on to the Chipmunk, which moved on to the Bulldog. And
Oh, what? Jag vill ha lite krasch.
a stern barrel roll, yes, or even an aileron roll. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Wonderful. All good stuff. Thank you. Outstanding. I hope you're all having a good day. Is it a good day? Are you enjoying yourselves? Alrighty, very good. I'll check that out again in a minute, but that was well done. Guys, wonderful. Very, very little flown commercially. It was, most of the aircraft was sold, and isn't that a beautiful thing? You can just see the top wing of the Comet there, and that's exactly where it comes from. Identical wings. Yes, the majority of these aircraft were sold to private individuals, believe it or not, in the 1930s, could carry a